right, 25 minutes before 11 o'clock. We were talking about remodeling this morning. I guess, when springtime comes around, we want to do something new with our home. So it's not always about damage. When we talk to Joe Reichel, sometimes it's simply about, making something new again. If you have a question about doing it yourself, feel free to call. The number is 622-9622. If it's bigger than something you can handle, Joe can recommend somebody, and maybe that somebody will be Joe himself. Good morning, Joe. How you doing?
Good morning. Doing really good.
Good. It's not too cold.
No, beautiful day today.
Nice day today, right?
Beautiful weather today.
It's the reason we live here.
It is the reason we love Florida so much.
It's the day.
A lot of us do anyway.
People hated Florida this past weekend, though, because we weren't so bad.
It was cold.
It was cold, but for us. But for them, they were looking, especially when they looked at the Miami temperatures, they said, oh,
yeah,
I hate you.
Yeah.
I hate you. We got snow.
Yeah, that made my parents want to come down here.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, they're leaving the end of this week, and we'll be here Friday.
Oh, nice. So you get to,
Isn't that nice?
I think I met your mom and dad.
You have met my mom and dad. They were here last year this time.
Oh, good. Are they coming into the show?
Probably.
Do you do damage control in their homes?
They live in Pennsylvania, so when I'm there, usually there's something I have to do.
Something you have to do?
Yeah.
Are you the child that is the one to go to for fixing things?
Well, I've done a bathroom remodel, 2 bathroom remodels up there.
Oh, wow.
I'm trying to think what else, but yeah, usually projects around the house. There's a Joey do list whenever I go home.
Oh, they call you Joey?
Yeah, it's not a honey-do list. It's a Joey do.
They're the only ones in the world who are allowed to call you Joey, right?
No, everybody call me Joey.
Oh, really?
I'm fine with it. Yeah,
Really?
Joseph, Joe, Joey. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. So I got an interesting call this week, and it really wasn't anything that I could help with other than some advice, but it was kind of funny, and I thought about it. And I thought about how we can make it an educational segment for the show. And,
all right.
And the lady called me, and she had it was a rental property, and she had a water leak. Her dishwasher had leaked.
Okay.
So called the landlord. The landlord had a dehumidifier and a fan put in there for a 24-hour period, which sounds common. And the lady gets home, and her carpet, she said, still felt like it had moisture in it.
Oh,
still
okay,
felt.
right.
But there was a report left that they had tested it and used the moisture meters and took readings, and everything was dry. So, and here's the thing. A lot of times when we know that there's an issue with something, we still see it. And here it's called heightened awareness. A lot of times when someone has mold in a house, if there's mold growth there, they still smell the mold. Even though it's been cleaned and taken care of, they can still smell it. If there's a fire in a home, they still smell smoke.
I can
even
imagine,
after it's called heightened awareness. So she comes home and she still feels moisture on her carpets. She feels it where it was wet. And this is how she explained it. She tells me it's still moist, and she is standing on the carpet, and she can easily do the twist and shout. And she goes into the other room where it didn't get wet, and she can't do the twist and shout.
Oh, that is funny.
I couldn't help but laugh at her, and I know this girl, so it was kind of comical. But it's one of those things where and I explained to her what she could do as far as making sure that the air conditioner was on or the heat was on, so that it was circulating the air. Put a fan on there and keep that on overnight, blowing on that area. And she said the next day that it was better. So when she said it was better, I said, okay, so you did the twist and shout test? And she said, no, Joe, I didn't do the twist and shout test. But, it was better for her. And, it's kind of one of those things where, it might, that has carpet. So it might take a little bit longer to dry. You never know. But if you have elevated moisture in a home and there's a situation, make sure your air conditioning is up. Make sure your thermostat's up so that your air is running or your heat is on. And it's circulating that air, because that's the way the air conditioner is designed, is to take that humidity out of the air. A lot of times this time of the year when the weather is cooler, people aren't using their air conditioner and they're not using their heat. They've got it turned off, and elevated humidity levels, and then you end up with fungal growth in homes. So,
when you said it was called heightened awareness, I thought you were going to say it was called psychological.
well, it kind of is.
Psychosomatic or something.
It kind of is.
Because I can relate to the smelling smoke thing. And I don't know where I might have had this experience, but I where there's nothing at all, and you can still smell like burnt embers or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you're outside near a fire, outdoors, cooking over a fire, or whatever, campfire, you go in, you take a shower, and you still smell it.
Yeah.
You really don't. But
I wonder if it
might be in your.
I wonder if it's limited to smell. Well, in her case, it was touch. You could feel it in the carpet, apparently.
Well, it's heightened awareness, so it's all of our senses. We use all of our senses for everything. So.
Yeah, a drip. I mean, you would still hear a drip if it was cleared up. I don't know if I would still
might
hear it. Really?
Well, sure. I don't know. I guess every situation is different.
Yeah. When there is particle board in a place that can get wet,
not a good combination.
No, it falls apart, doesn't it? Okay.
That particle board will soak up the moisture and it will swell, and then become very brittle.
It's not.
It's the glue that's holding those particles together, and that glue breaks down and will come apart. It loses its structure.
Okay, so I have an actual quick fix that I need some advice on. Okay, I have, I live in a mobile home.
Right.
And I have steps that go up to the door, and the steps are wood, there's a metal frame, but they're made out of wood. And so it's coming apart a little bit, and so
they're not particle board, are they?
No.
Okay,
thank God. No, but the nails. So I'm going to go to the hardware store to buy the big. Robin called them 16 penny nails.
Right.
See, Robin knows more about this than me. So I was going to buy them and just hammer them in there and make everything good again.
Right.
Good thing to do, bad thing to do? Is there something better I can do?
Without seeing it, I really don't know.
It's just pulling apart. It's just like it's loose.
The boards are... the
one board is...
Probably a screw would be better.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because...
Well, a screw, a nail will gradually work its way back out. And I'm saying this because if you have a wood deck... the movement of it will actually work those nails back up. Typically, a screw will not work itself up.
I got you. So it grips it better. Okay.
The threads on the screw will pull it together tighter, especially on older lumber. The only thing...
So I got to get a big screw. It's a 2x4. That's going to be long enough to go through that.
Well, which direction are you going through on the 2x4?
Right to left.
Okay. Is that through the 2 or the 4? That's the question.
I knew right to left wasn't going to work for you. I think it's through the 2.
Okay, so if you just, that's actually...
It's like a 4-inch and a half.
Inch and a half.
Oh, really? Just
That's an inch and a half. A 2x4 is an inch and a half.
Oh, is that right? It's only an inch and a half? Okay. So a 3-inch screw would be good enough? Put another inch and a half into the other wood? Okay.
A 3-inch screw would be fine. I probably have some in my car, really, if you need.
All right.
Could help you out.
All right. See, I had some advice.
So we can take care of it. Just that easy.
If you have a need for some similar advice, or maybe something more complex than mine, the number is 622-9622. You can call. I even have one of those battery-operated drills. I don't even have to struggle with it.
Do you have a drill bit that you could pre-drill?
Yeah, I do. From my dad. I just remembered I have something. Yeah.
Okay. Typically, if you're running screws through wood and if older wood like that, you might want to pre-drill it, and that way it would go in easier. Use it, you don't have to use a big drill bit, just a small one, a little smaller than the thread, and it will go right in easily.
Okay. Got my advice for the day.
There's your advice for the day.
Just got to be the Mr. Fix-It man and go do it.
You can do it. I have confidence in you, Larry.
I'll give you a report next week. Because it would be disastrous, wouldn't it, to walk out onto your little platform and have it collapse under you? That would be.
You would not want your platform to collapse.
Yeah, because sometimes there's more than just me standing there.
Well, and that's you've got family or friends coming over. You don't want any of them falling.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good. Good morning. You're on the air with Joe Reichel.
Yeah, when you're trying to put a screw into wood, you take a bar of soap and you put the screw so that some of the soap gets on the threads of the screw, and it makes it easier to screw into the wood.
Yeah, especially in harder materials, harder woods. That's a great idea. A lot of times people are.
Day, Walt.
Thank you for that tip. A lot of times, if you're using a harder wood like oak or something, and especially if it's a finished product, because something like you're talking about with the steps, it's not. You don't want to slip off and the drill runs into it or something.
No.
Steps, it wouldn't matter as much, whereas you're doing other material.
Is Irish Spring okay?
Irish Spring would work.
Okay, we'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accidents. Partly sunny Tuesday. There may be a shower along the coast. The high 69 at the coast to 74 inland. And mostly cloudy Tuesday night with a shower or two late. Low 58 to 62. Wednesday will be cloudy with showers and some heavier thunderstorms. There may be some flooding downpours. The high 68 to 72. Thursday cloudy with showers and thunderstorms. Highs ranging from the low 60s in the north to the low 70s in the south. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Joe Lundberg.
Get it for less at the DIY Home Center outlet. Get top quality real wood cabinets the same or less than the big box stores are selling the cheap stuff. And that's not all. Drywall screws big box stores are $6.47 a pound. At DIY only $4.99. Plus DIY has the largest selection of mobile home parts and accessories anywhere. From carpet to doors, get the DIY supplies you need for less. The DIY Home Center outlet. We are your building material closeout store. 2191 Northwest 10th Street, just 2 miles east of I-75.
Hi, I'm Seth with AA Lock, Dock, and Security. Have you ever thought about the locks or security on your house or business? Have you ever wondered why the keys to your new car cost so much? Well, at AA Lock, Dock, and Security, we can help with securing your valuables. We can even replace those expensive transponder keys. We can give you the knowledge that no one else will. Call AA Lock, Dock, and Security at 867-1965. That's 867-1965.
Looking to put your money to work? Florida Credit Union has 3 CD specials: 12 months for 1.05% APY, 24 months for 1.50% APY, and 36 months for 1.75% APY each, with a $10,000 minimum. Federally insured by the NCUA. APY equals annual percentage yield. These rates effective through February 28, 2016, subject to change at any time. Visit one of Florida Credit Union's convenient locations today or their website at flcu.org.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Common wisdom suggests we all want partners who are healthy and in shape, but less than 1 out of 10 men and women said they'd actually dump somebody who was too athletic, likely because the perfect physique could signal a vanity problem. Like when you see a friend laughing or crying and you start to laugh or cry too. And now it's been proven dogs have emotional contagion too. Just the sight of devices like Nest Cam and Piper are often enough to scare off crooks who don't want to be caught on camera.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Putting the local back into radio. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. WOTA News. Variety. Information. Now. Keep your arms and legs on the inside at all times.
The most trusted name in news, Fox News, every half hour, only on 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
WOCA. 11 minutes before 11 o'clock, Joe Reichel is here, and he will help you fix whatever's damaged or perhaps remodel. We started talking about remodeling at the beginning of the show. So if you want to call Joe, the number is 622-9622. If you're out of the area code is 352. Just thought I'd mention that. You do have some people watching online, it looks like. So
Very cool.
Could be people up in Pennsylvania.
Could be.
What's the weirdest thing you ever had to repair? Like we had this story about the 23-foot tall dinosaur that had to be repaired at a golf. What do you call it? Goofy golf or something?
Yeah, goofy golf. I don't know about weird. I mean, we've done glass room repairs and.
Oh really?
Yeah, over swimming pools. That was kind of intense. It really wasn't weird.
So the weirdest remodeling job, maybe? Some people have a lot more windows than other people. Did I ever talk to you about the place on the boulevard that was built as a game room, and then they made it. It had no windows, and then they had add all these windows when the game room idea didn't work out. Not too far from the golf course, the municipal golf course.
I didn't know about that.
Okay, let's go to the phone. Somebody's calling in. Good morning. You're on the air with Joe.
Good morning, Joe.
Good morning.
See, I'm thinking of changing out my windows in a porch in the back of the house that faces kind of southerly. In the summertime, it gets pretty warm in that porch. There's no air conditioning or heat or anything out there. Do you think it would be of a help to go with a thermal pane window or a tinted window to help keep it a little bit cooler?
That would be a great idea, especially if you're wanting to use that porch more. In the wintertime even, it would keep it warmer, and in the summertime, it would help to keep it cooler. So yeah, that would be a great idea all the way around.
You have to have a kind of a strong tint so it really works, or can you get away with just a lighter tint?
There's all kinds of different ones, and 3M makes some great products. Some are reflective, and you don't even know that, from the inside or the outside you can't see in. From the inside, it really doesn't change the appearance too much. Makes it a little less glare maybe, but doesn't really change it too much from the inside, and still lets light in, but keeps the heat out.
Yeah. Is it possible then to go with a thermal pane and a tint on the window, and can that be ordered from somebody?
Well, you can order the glass different places. You can order windows with that tint already, from the manufacturer. So, that's always an option also. It depends what size windows you go with and where you get them from. They're going to be relatively more costly, more expensive than just a normal window. So really that depends, depends on your budget and what you want to go, how you want to go.
Yeah.
Having somebody come in and...
to have somebody with a thermal pane?
What's that?
Is it a little bit unusual for somebody to have like a thermal pane down here for the heat?
No, that's a lot of times people use, there's all kinds of different windows that people use and different window manufacturers recommend because of the heat that we have here that will help to keep the home insulated better with the better quality windows like that. So tinting is something, a lot of times, residential people don't do it as much as far as having someone come in and install tint afterwards. It's always a great idea because that's another way to keep the heat out and, keep your, the comfort in the home. So a lot less work on your air conditioning and whatnot. So
yeah, I guess you lose a lot of your heat and you get a lot of the cold from the glass itself. And it's surprising that, like on new construction, you don't see thermal pane windows or tinted glass. They just use the regular glass.
Well, and that's a lot of it depends as far as the new construction. And this is the downside of the construction industry as I see it. A lot of times people are building homes cheaper and cheaper and cheaper so that they can economically get into people's budget. And it's not necessarily good for the long run because they're using less expensive products, cheaper products, so that they're able to give them a new home, and it might not be the best for their budget, their wallet in the days to come, but they've got a new home, and there you go.
Yeah, I would imagine in the long run, over a period of several years, you'd be saving a lot of money by going that route.
Well, and that's the way it is with a lot of these better products. It costs you more up front, but you are saving in the end. Perfect example of that is your inline water heaters. They cost a lot more, but the savings over time is greater. Another prime example of this would be your like water softener systems. They cost more up front, but you're saving on the wear and tear of bad water in your appliances, in your refrigerator, and I guess that's an appliance, but in your pipes, the calcium and whatnot building up. So, or even in your water heater. So, a little bit of extra, up front is going to save in the long run in the life of your home. So that's just one example.
Okay, Joe. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Another job that I got, call that I got this weekend was for redoing a shower. Homeowners called me because they realized that they needed to re-grout some of the tile that was in there. And they went in to grout, and by trying to chip out the grout, tile started falling off the wall.
Oh, no.
And they realized that it was black behind there, and they think it's mold. So we had a guy guy went out there yesterday to look at it. And what happens, and this is one of those tips for homeowners, if you've got grout coming out in your shower, where the cracks to the tile are exposed, water's getting in there, and it's going behind the tile.
I'm sure it is.
And is going to cause a considerable amount of damage if you don't get that fixed. So any cracks in a shower is not a good. Any cracks in the grout in the shower is causing water damage. Then you're gonna have to replace the whole shower if you're not careful.
Does it get weakened when you clean it with bleach?
No, that won't. No? That won't weaken it. But
doesn't
there's
make it more porous or something?
I don't know.
What about that calcium lime rust stuff you see for sale in the stores? It's like one product that cleans those three things.
Yeah, the CLR.
I guess.
I think that's what it's called, a CLR. I'm not sure. I've used that product on a few things, and people that have rust or calcium buildup, that's a great product to use to get rid of that. So. That doesn't really help with sealing the grout, though. Or filling in the holes.
Wouldn't help with that at all. No. It's something you got to keep your eye on, too.
Yeah.
Especially if you're, I can remember at my mom's place before she passed away, we had to keep a close eye on that because there was nobody there to keep an eye on it anymore. You know? So.
Well, and that's, keeping an eye on it. I just got another call, and it's funny you say that because homeowners have a crack that is developed in their roof, and they're not sure why. So we're going to go out there and take a look at that. Not in their roof, in their ceiling, a crack in the drywall ceiling.
Okay.
So all of a sudden, one day they've got a crack there and not sure how it happened. And a lot of times things settle, the home moves, especially those colder temperatures that we have, you got movement. So we're going to go out there and take a look at it and try to figure out why it happened and keep it from happening. But homeowners all the time, they'll get a wet spot in a ceiling, and instead of addressing it, they just let it go, and more rain, it'll continue to get worse. So it's a lot easier to fix it ahead of time, and that way you don't have to. It's not a major ordeal whenever it comes time to take care of it.
Thunderstorms are predicted for tomorrow. It's always a thought that when a thunderstorm comes, it could cause a flood. It could knock a tree down. There's always something.
Especially that wind we had a couple weeks ago. A couple days, last weekend.
Not too long ago,
if you have trees that are of concern or overhang in your house, you want to get your gutters cleaned out with all this rain and whatnot, because that will cause rotten wood and damage.
So my recommendation is to get one of your magnetic business cards.
I've got them right here.
Put one or two on your refrigerator, and put one or two on your friend's refrigerator. There you go. But otherwise, how do we get a hold of you? And how do we get one of those cards?
Wow. If you want one of these cards or whatever, you can get a hold of me by calling me directly, 352-817-6574. Or email me, joe@damageflorida.com.
All right. Thank you, Joe.
It's just that easy.
Always a fast half hour and always a great show.
Fastest half hour of my Tuesday.
All right. We'll see you next Tuesday. We'll make the other 23 hours. And
good chance my mom and dad will be here.
Oh, good. Excellent. All right. We'll be
excellent.
We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News